From the BBC World Service, in association with ABC and Akashvani, this is Stumped.
Hello, I'm Alison Mitchell and welcome to Stumped. I'm joined by the ABC's Brett Sprigg in Sydney and Charu Sharma from Akashvani is in Dubai this week. Now, what's next for the India men's test team after Rohit Sharma announced his retirement from the longest form of the game? Rohit's decision came after speculation in the Indian media that he'd be replaced as test captain for the upcoming tour of England. He won half of his 24 tests as captain and reached the World Test Championship final in 2023. But he also lost the Border Gavaskar Trophy in Australia and was captain for last year's historic 3-0 home defeat by New Zealand. Rohit will continue as India's ODI captain, and of course he retired from T20 internationals after winning the T20 World Cup last year, which was a tremendous achievement. Charu, let me start with you. What have you made of Rohit's decision to retire from Test cricket and the timing of it?
I think it's about time. I must quickly confess that Rohit, I thought when he started his career, was one of the finest test match prospects because he used to play so straight and he had so much time and classically an elegant batsman. And yet, because India is not quite focusing as much on test match cricket as I suppose the nations would like India to, he switched to becoming much more of a one-day player, as in a white ball player. And that's where all the fame and the glory is. And maybe that hurt his test prospects to a bit because he was in and out of the team for many years. Eventually, of course, he led the team, and many say he's a wonderful leader, very calm, knows the game extremely well, like so many of the players do anyway. And I did think that because of his average form, going to England might have hurt him even more, and he might have had to go out on a bit of a downslide, fading away rather than on a bit of a high, because England can be a little rough. And which is why I suppose he must have decided, and of course, perhaps a chat with the board as well. The board saying, where are you going with all of this? There's so many hungry young players and talented players in India that might have hastened Rohit's decision to not only not be captain of India, but stop playing test match cricket. However, he has said that he'll continue one-day internationals, which is perhaps now the least trying format of the game because there's plenty of time to play out your innings. I mean, it's not frenetic like T20 and certainly not as testing as test matches.
Yeah, there was a lot of speculation during the Border Gavaskar Trophy about Rohit's future, not least because of his form. And then he famously dropped himself for that decisive fifth test match. Did you feel then that that was the start of the writing really being on the wall? If you're leaving yourself out of the team, how much longer can you continue to lead them for?
Well, that's a pretty good point, isn't it? I think what also perhaps hurt them a lot more, him particularly and the Indian team, was the 0-3 loss to New Zealand back at home, because India have been so strong at home, and then to lose every single test match to New Zealand was very tough for a lot of Indian cricketers and fans. And of course, the new coach at that point of time got them compared to also swallow. Australia didn't go on too well. And as you mentioned, dropping himself for a test match, it was a very bold call and perhaps the correct call, not being in very good form at all. Australia can be very tough for those visiting from other nations, but it's not that he got more opportunities to play test match cricket in India thereafter. And now England would have been as tough. So pretty good time, and I think he's done very well. I think his fitness has not been fantastic. And maybe he's also decided he's not ready for the rigors of a 5-day match.
So what do you feel his legacy will be, Charu? How will he be remembered?
Well, this is going to sound a little rough. As a slight underachiever in red ball cricket, but a massive achiever in white ball cricket. A revered figure because of his success with Mumbai Indians. And of course, in white ball cricket, especially at the top, very, very aggressive, easy when it comes to hitting those big sixes. He turned out to be a big six-hitting man and therefore a big crowd favorite as well. I think his personality was pretty calm and cool, so he'll be remembered positively all the way through.
Yeah, he's always had that calm demeanour, in interviews and those media interactions that we've had with him, always came across as very, very calm. Brett, is it a good time, do you think, to have a new captain, the right time? I mean, a big tour of India coming up, so it's going to be a huge task for whoever gets the job now.
Look, I thought last year or before last summer, the World Gavaskar series, it seemed like it was a slightly tumultuous time to be unsure of the team's leadership then. Although Rohit missed the first test due to family reasons, he was, as you say, he didn't play in Sydney, dropped himself. And India kind of was competitive for much of that series, certainly early on, taking that 1-0 lead, despite all the questions around their best 11 and their leadership. That was just circumstances. I'm not sure why, given India hasn't played a test match since January, or indeed any international cricket since the Champions Trophy 2 months ago, while the IPL is going on, that this wouldn't be worked out sooner. There's still, 5 or 6 weeks before the England series, but I am curious as to why this couldn't have eventuated sooner, because certainly when I look back on the last summer in Australia, without being too unkind to Rohit, it did sometimes look like maybe there was a bit of disinterest. Of course, he just had a second child at home, so your mind is probably elsewhere. You could argue his fitness certainly wasn't probably at the ideal standard, and that's before you consider that he'd averaged just 10 in that format in the previous 12 months or so. And we're having these conversations about his future in Test cricket just then, like you said. So, yes, it's the right time. My only question is why so close to this England series and why not sooner?
Yeah, it's a question that's difficult to answer, really, isn't it? Often, a series happens and then a change will come fairly soon off the back of it. The question really is now who will take over. Of course, Jasprit Bumrah, stepped in and did very well, Charu, didn't he, in that BGT trophy? Is there any other option in your mind?
Pat Cummins is doing a pretty good job for Australia as a fast bowler, but conventionally, of course, fast bowlers have not been handed over captaincy because of just the rough nature of their work and the tiring nature of their work. So I don't think it's going to be Bumrah again. And even his fitness, by the way, isn't just a little bit of question. He's doing very well in the IPL, but will he hold up? Because he had a major back problem. So they'll probably lean once again onto somebody like Pant, who is in trouble in the IPL right now. But if he is preferred for the Test series in England, he has handled the job before, it could well be him. Or, of course, the man who would be king, the prince right now, Shubman Gill, is also in contention because his place is certainly guaranteed. It has to be somebody in very good form, that's for sure, because if your own form is a suspect, then when you get to captaincy, that might suffer even more. Those are the two front runners. There's a little bit of talk about KL Rahul as well, who has been so up and down for the past 2 or 3 years, has got so much criticism when his form was off, but he's in pretty good form now. And of course, is the senior player. So these are the three choices. If Pant can toe the line, sometimes he is not very establishment oriented, perhaps he would be first choice.
Yeah, I could almost see, Spriggy, your eyebrows raise when Charu mentioned Rishabh Pant as India Test captain. I mean, it would be an unusual, perhaps
it's a great
pick.
shout. I love that suggestion of Rishabh Pant. Yeah, indeed. I guess, look, around Shubman Gill, and it appears as though, there's a few indicators here that suggest he is the heir apparent. As you say, he's now an established member of that team, or he wasn't probably the past couple of years, but it probably is so more recently. I think I'm right in saying he hasn't captained a great deal at other levels. It's his second year in charge at the Gujarat Titans. He did captain India during a T20 series last year against Zimbabwe. And I understand if people sort of share those concerns re his lack of captaincy experience. But what I do love about Rishabh Pant is he does have a sort of a calm demeanour. You mentioned that's a great quality that Rohit Sharma had as a captain. And he appears, for the most part, quite a composed character. And even if his numbers don't really back it up, he's still quite technically solid, Shubman Gill. And I don't know why, but to me, that seems important. I want my captain to look assured and confident at the crease. But I guess most importantly, regarding the case for Shubman Gill is he's only 25. So there's a potential long-term stability there. When you look at Rohit coming in after Virat Kohli, he's actually older than Virat. So there was never really a succession plan there. I remember people being surprised as well when Shubman Gill was named a vice captain in the white ball formats. But clearly his ascension to this role, if it is coming, has been sort of in the works for a little while. So if it is him, then good luck, Shubman, because it'll be a tough series first up. But Rishabh Pant's a very good shout as well.
Calm, one thing. He's certainly not quiet behind the stumps, is he? One of the most chirpy keepers going. I mean, I just thought Jasprit Bumrah led magnificently during that series in Australia. Whether, again, you look at it and you're right, Charu has had injury issues, but I feel like the question of can a fast bowler be captain sort of no longer exists in cricket. I think, you've got Ben Stokes short as an all-rounder captain, Pat Cummins captaining Australia. But Bumrah showed that you absolutely can do it. Probably, leaning on some others in the team as well. And if you needing to take a bit of a break on and off the field every now and again. But it's going to be intriguing to see who does step up and lead India in what is a massive series in England coming up. Well, that's all we've got time for on this week's Stumped. So my thanks to Brett Sprigg and to Charu Sharma and to all of you for listening. We'll speak to you again next week. Till then, bye-bye.